Hey everyone, it's Mirella Manelli here, and today I'm going to transform my model's hair into something completely different for 2019, complete with a brand new haircut and color transformation, so stay tuned and check it out. This is my model, Michelle, and she wanted to do a complete transformation for 2019 because she's welcoming a baby boy in about 4 months. So I wanted to do a proper consultation on her prior to doing any coloring service or cutting. For this consultation, I'm gonna need to determine her natural starting level. So one of the things that I learned about Michelle is that she hasn't gotten her hair done since August. So it's been a while, and I wanted to make sure her natural starting level so I can determine the proper formulation that I'm going to use. So I decided to split her hair down in the back because this is the best place for you to find her natural starting level. And I think she's about a natural level 4. So I'm just going to fan out my 4N swatch from my Kenra color book, and I'm just going to push those hairs right on in, and I think that matches perfectly. But just to be sure, I do like to check the level above and the level below. So based on this determination, she's for sure a 4N natural starting level. She definitely still loves the whole ombre effect that she has, mostly because it's gonna be a little rooty into lighter ends, which is gonna be very easy and low maintenance, especially when the baby comes. The other thing that we talked about was cutting her hair. So she has about 4 to 5 inches that we're gonna be removing from the ends. And then she also has some old grown out bangs that she doesn't want anymore. So we're gonna be cutting those to kind of blend in as much as possible. So first things first, I'm gonna cut her hair because you wanna build your house before you paint. So let's go ahead and get started on that. I just finished Michelle's haircut, and as you can see, we cut off a ton from the ends, and then I gave her some really light long layers. And for the front, because she was growing out a very hard fringe, I decided to go ahead and give her some soft side bangs so it'll be much easier for the grow out, and plus it blends in with her haircut. So now I'm gonna go ahead and mix up her color. To get started with Michelle's color, I decided to mix up Kenra Professional Simply Blonde Blue Powder Lightener in 30 volume. And what I'm gonna be doing is working from the back, bottom, all the way up to the top. Now what I'm gonna be doing is a mixture of 2 baby lights and 1 slice. And all of them are gonna be teasy. So teasy baby lights with teasy slices. And when I get ready to work on through the hairline and in the back, I'm gonna be doing more diagonal sections, and on the interior, we're gonna be doing more horizontal because it's just gonna give me more coverage. Now for the front, what I'm going to be doing is still some diagonal back sections, and I'm really gonna focus on baby lights right on through the hairline and then focusing on those teasy slices as I get into the interior. For her sectioning, I'm gonna take a section from ear to ear, separating the front from the back. And then in the entire back section, I'm going to be doing a V-shaped pattern for the hairline. And then as I work in through the interior, we'll work in more horizontal sections. Now that I have her sectioned, I'm going to start off with my very first baby light right on the hairline, just in case she decides to wear her hair up. So I actually like to take a really tiny slice just for extra control. And then clip that section away. And then you're just gonna lightly weave the hairline. So now she has a very fine section right on through here that I'm just gonna apply in a foil. Now I'm just going to do one more little baby light right on top of that section that I just created. Now that I have my two baby lights back to back, I'm now gonna start incorporating the teasy slices, and then we're gonna go right into teasy baby lights. So now I'm just going to continue on with the same pattern with baby light, and slice, but making sure that they're all teased from this point forward. And I'm going to do the same exact thing on the other side. Okay, now I have the bottom exterior done, and now we're going to start working in more of a horizontal section just for a little bit, and then we're going to keep going in diagonal, horizontal, diagonal, horizontal. But the beauty of this is that we're going to be taking kind of big sections. So just kind of like I took a big section here on the bottom, we're going to be taking a big section right straight across here. Now this area is a little wide, so I may go ahead and put 2 foils once I get to this section in here. And then we'll continue to work our way up with the baby light, and teasy slice. right, so I'm on my very last section here on the very, very back. And what I did with the horizontal sections for the top here is just created a bunch of teasy baby lights. And there's no slices on this top here because I really wanted to create something a little bit more softer and diffused for the top section, and then keep a little bit of depth with some of the hair that was left out. So now I'm going to get ready to work on through the sides, and I went ahead and left her part right through the right side because she has these nice new fresh side bangs. So now what I'm going to do is work on through the side, starting from the hairline and working my way up in a diagonal back section. So I'm just going to take a little baby slice right through the front here, and then I'm going to go ahead and weave that. And just like I did the hairline in the very back section, I'm going to do 2 back-to-back baby lights that are not teased, just because I really want to focus on brightening up the hairline. And then now I'm going to follow up with a teasy slice. And then again, continue with the same pattern until I get right onto the top of this section. Now that I have both sides completely finished, both with teasy baby lights and teasy slices, I'm going to go ahead and start right on this last section, which is where her fringe is at. So she's going to be parting it to the left. So what I'm going to do is I am going to give her a little bit of some baby lights right in through her fringe, but I'm not going to give her too many, just because I want to keep enough depth there so that way her fringe looks like it pops. So if we make it too light, it's not going to really frame her face nicely. So I'm not too concerned with getting right at her hairline because she's going to be wearing them going forward, down, and then across. So I'm just going to do the 2 back-to-back baby lights, but you see here I left a little bit of depth right here in the front, so that'll act as a background for these baby lights. Now if she wasn't having any fringe, I would definitely go ahead and make sure that the baby light is sitting right on her hairline. But in her case, we're just kind of changing it up just a little bit. So I'm going to take another little section here and baby light this one, and I am going to add in a slice on the 3rd foil. Now I'm going to go ahead and add in her little baby slice right in through here. And this is kind of like the longest piece of her fringe, and that's kind of why I want the slice right in through there. I just want to make sure it's super thin, so it'll just kind of cast right on over the depth that we created underneath. Now for the rest of this entire section, all I'm going to do is continue with teasy baby lights, because again, I want to have this top section kind of diffuse into the rest of the hair. So I don't really like the slices other than for like super strong pops of color. So the Teasy Baby Lights are going to give me the softest end result possible. So that's what I'm going to finish her off with. Can you say holy foils? Because this is a lot going on in her head, but we're gonna go ahead and let her process for about 30 minutes. I'll go ahead and check the top, but right now I'm gonna check the back, kind of see where she's at. If the back is done, I'm gonna rinse it out, and then we'll see you right back over here when we get ready to do her final glaze. So now Michelle's hair is completely finished processing. We rinsed it out and conditioned it, and now we're ready to move on to the next step, which is her final glaze. So we decided that we're gonna be using 5VR in Demi-Permanent with Kenra Professional Demi-Permanent hair color. And then for her ends, we decided that we're gonna put in a little bit of 10 bronze metallic and 8 bronze metallic with a few ribbons of the 5VR just to give a little bit of blushness throughout the ends. Now, something to note that we kind of experienced as we were going through the lightening process is that her ends were being a little stubborn, and we learned that she did box hair dye very, very long time ago. So nonetheless, we still got a really great brightness for her first lightning go round. So because she has a little bit of porosity issues going on because of her ends, I'm gonna be spraying in the Porosity Equalizing spray from Kenra Professional. And all you do is you're gonna spray a generous amount of it through the mid lengths and ends. And because this is slightly acidic, this is actually gonna help kind of close the cuticle so that we have even color processing throughout the hair and even color saturation, which is really, really important. Now her hair is slightly damp, which is totally fine for putting on her final glaze. So what I'm gonna do first is go ahead and apply this right to her root area. And then I'm gonna start to root smudge it all the way down when I get ready to put on her mid lengths and ends color. All right, so I'm all done applying her glaze color melt, and we're just gonna process her room temperature for 20 minutes, and then I'll be right back here to show you the final result. So here is our final result for our hair makeover for 2019, complete with a color transformation and haircut. And just to recap on what we used on Michelle's hair today, we used Kenra Professional Simply Blonde Blue Powder Lightener with 30 volume for her teasy lights. And then for her final color melt, we used 5VR in Kenra Professional Demi-Permanent hair color and melted that right into 30 grams of 10 bronze metallic, 10 grams of 8 bronze metallic, and 2 little ribbons of 5VR, which gave this really beautiful blushy tone on the ends. So I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time.